So, I recently started a new business where I create music, jingles, and theme songs for a variety of different streamers and content creators. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I made theme songs for 3 different VTubers. So I recently discovered the importance of sound identity and what it really does to help grow your channel or your streams or your content, all of it. So for example, if I were to sing ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you know exactly what that is. Obviously, it's Burger King. But whenever you hear that jingle, people instantly recognize where that's from. And because that's played so often, even if you hear a melody that's somewhat similar to that, you will instantly think of McDonald's. And so I've been thinking about it because I'm a YouTuber and I'm a streamer as well, and I've wondered, is there a way we can implement sound identity in a jingle to content creation, to YouTubers, to Twitch streamers, whether it's from like their long form videos or their TikTok shorts or Instagram reels? Is there a way to implement sound identity to that? And so I formed a new business called Elementality Studios, and I want to show you how I made different theme songs for 3 different VTubers. The VTubers we will be talking about today are Dia Mori VT, It's Silva, and Hydroxide Ant. Now, going into this, I was thinking it might be kind of hard to make a ton of different melodies for a bunch of different clients, and I actually came up with a methodology that I am currently calling the jingle letters methodology. Basically, we start with the notes A through G in alphabetical order, and then from there, all we do is just repeat the alphabet using the same notes. And so by using this methodology, I can actually spell out people's usernames or business names or brand names and make the melodies a lot more personal to them. Now, obviously, with that example, all the notes are only on the white keys, but basically it gives us some leeway to sort of manipulate the notes a little bit. If we feel like the melodies don't really line up as much, you know, the G doesn't have to be married to that G note. We can maybe just make it a G sharp, or we could turn it into an F sharp. We can kind of play around with the notes a little bit. But I think it's a pretty good system. And so without further ado, let us go into our first VTuber, Dia Mori VT. So Dia describes herself as a resident guardian angel who has come to watch over you, eat sweets, have fun, and make friends along the way. For Dia, I decided to omit the VT at the end of her name, but this is how the rest of her username sounds like with our methodology. So we started off with finding a cool, chill synth kind of sound for the melody, right? Then we added some drums, tried to add a cool, chill, lo-fi beat for this. We also have got some bass. We've got a cymbal crash, reverse cymbal. It's more of like a reverse cymbal here. Then I decided to repeat the melody using a piano to make it more like twinkly. I feel like it really fit like her aesthetic for her VTuber model. And then we also added these piano chords here. We added some piano chords to kind of fill out the sound. And then last but not least, I think we added some like atmospheric kind of noise. Here are the atmospheric noises sort of soloed here. Just held out notes, but it's a cool little arpeggio. Yeah, so through the jingle letters methodology, we were able to start with that melody and form a song around it. And I think it's a really interesting approach to be able to make personalized music for different people, different streamers, different content creators. So she wanted about a 1-minute song, and we decided to throw in a verse that you should probably hear right now. And that part I kind of just came up with on the spot, and she wanted it to loop so it can continuously play in the background of her stream. So what's actually really interesting is that she wanted 2 different versions of this song. And so this version, even though it's pretty chill, there is a lot going on here. And she wanted another version where the song is even more chill than this, and so she can talk over it during just chatting, and the more upbeat one was more for like be right back. So here's the version during her just chatting. We basically removed more of like the high end in the drums. We simplified the bass part. We still kept the main melody, synth. And we also kept the piano echo as well, but instead of having it in octaves, it was just a high note. And there you go, the first theme song. You can check her out over at twitch.tv/DiaMoriVT. Now for our second client, her name is Silva. She is an elf librarian trying to spread fun and variety among her lovely bookworms. She wanted cutesy music, not a fan of a harder background beat, and she wanted something similar to Zelda's Lullaby. So if we plug her username into the jingle letters methodology, this is what we get. So with Silva's song, I tried to take the approach of something that was a little bit more fantasy-like, but still kind of chill, a little bit upbeat, not as chill as what Dia's theme was, but something that kind of fit the elf, librarian, fantasy, but also a bit of like a Zelda's Lullaby kind of feel. So with Zelda's Lullaby in mind, I decided to use a flute for the main melody, and this is what we came up with. Now, if we look at Silva's name again, she actually has two S's back to back, as well as V and A next to each other at the end. This causes an interesting situation because this gives us sort of some creativity of how we should approach these notes. Do we play the same exact note, or do we change octaves? Now, what I decided to do here is for the S's to actually keep the same note, but for the V and A, I changed octaves, and this is the result. We also decided to add a little flourish there in the beginning, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now it continues the phrase. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty nice. Now to create a backing track for this melody, basically I just looked at the melody and tried to create chords, arpeggiated chords, to sort of dance around the melody there. And I pictured sort of pizzicato strings as well as a harp to sort of support the flute. And this is what I came up with. I feel like it really gives sort of like the librarian but fantasy elf kind of vibe. It feels very like proper, it feels educated, smart. So I felt like it was missing something, and I decided to add piano chords on the upbeats. And then with the backing track, the strings and the harp, I feel like that really filled it out. And now with the entire thing, including the melody, the song sounds like this. And there you go, 2 VTuber theme songs down, 1 more to go. Be sure to go check out Silva at twitch.tv/itssilva. And now for our final client, Hydroxide Ant. He also goes by the name Tony. Now Tony wanted actually something different from the other two. He wanted a theme song, but wanted a Foo Fighters-esque rock vibe to it. He also wanted vocals and lyrics to his song. And so when I asked him to give me a little bit more information about his streams and the content that he does and what he wants me to sing about, and so he told me he plays games like Pokemon and Valorant. He also hosts a podcast named Background Noise. He likes to quack a lot and relates things to Chicken Little. Hydroxide Ant is a friendo who likes to make people feel welcome and seen and create a fun place for people to come and hang out. But before we get to the lyrics, this is how Hydroxide Ant sounds like using our jingle letters methodology. Now, I actually had a bit of a harder time trying to come up with a song using this melody. What I decided to do was actually add it towards the end of the chorus, and so I think the best way to show you guys this is just to start the song from the beginning and show you where the melody Hydroxide Ant actually fits within the song. Come get your daily dose of serotonin. So right here is going to be Hydroxide Ant. Welcome to Hydroxide Ant's farm. And we'll get to the lyrics in a second. But there you go. We were able to add the melody into the chorus still. We had to kind of come up with a separate melody first, but it derived from that original melody, and that's what I came up with. Now for the rest of the song, especially with the vocals and lyrics, I kind of had to come up with new melodies that didn't really relate to the Hydroxide Ant melody. So instead of breaking down this song like we did with the other two songs, let's take this into a lyrical music video. Enjoy!
Welcome to Hydroxide Ant's farm, a place to hang, a space for fun and joy. Fun and joy. From Valorant to Pokemon, listen to his podcast, Background Noise. Background Noise. He will do a quack, quack, quack for all your channel points. He will make a Chicken Little reference if you join. His name is Tony, and he's a friend, oh, and a pal. His name is Tony. Everyone come and gather around. His name is Tony, and he's a friend, oh, and a pal. His name is Tony. Everybody will feel safe and sound with Tony.
And there you go, that's the Hydroxide Ant theme. Make sure to go check out Tony at twitch.tv/hydroxideant. Which song did you end up liking the most? Comment down below and let me know. I'm actually really proud of how these songs turned out, and I really think it's going to be an important asset in the growth of these channels. And now with their new sound identity, they can take those songs and keep it in the background of their streams, put it in their shorts and YouTube videos, any of their content, and hopefully more people will recognize their tunes, remember them, and come back to their content. And if you're a content creator who would like their own sound identity, feel free to check out my website at elementalitystudios.com. You can click in the link in the description below. I'm actually trying to implement sound identity a little bit better on my channel and content. I've actually been on YouTube for about 16 years, and if you're interested in hearing about my journey, you can click on this video right here. Thanks for watching.